Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing a new topic called Cataphora, which we can frequently see in topics like error detection, descriptive English, and also comprehension in the most competitive examinations. So now let's understand what is Cataphora. You may know what is anaphora, but today we'll understand the pronoun reverse structure, which is called as Cataphora. Okay, you may not be familiar with this terminology called Cataphora, but we will try to understand what the concept actually is. So Cataphora is a grammatical structure where a pronoun appears first and the noun it refers to appears later in the sentence. So the pronoun will be in the first place and then only the noun will be there. But in regards to anaphora, the noun is in the beginning and the pronoun is in the later part of the sentence. So in cataphora, the pronoun appears first and the noun it refers to appears later in the sentence. So the reference comes after the pronoun. This creates suspense, emphasis and stylistic effect in the English. Okay, now let's understand the structure. The pronoun, then the noun, later on. Let's understand with some examples. Example 1 is, when he entered the room, Nayan immediately greeted everyone. Now here, can you see Nayan? It is the noun. Yes, and when he entered, this is the pronoun. So the pronoun is placed in the first place and then the noun is placed later on. So here, he comes first, but the noun Nayan appears later. So this is the exact structure of cataphora. Okay, example 2, although she was exhausted, Maria finished the project. In this sentence, we are talking about Maria only, but we are placing the noun Maria later on and placing the pronoun she. Although she was exhausted, Maria finished the project. Okay, she, the pronoun is placed in the very first place. Pronoun is she and noun is Maria here. Now let's move forward with another example. Before they could react, the soldiers attacked. Okay, before they could react, here the pronoun is they, noun is soldiers. This is also another example of cataphora where the pronoun is placed in the first place and then the noun. Now let's understand why exactly cataphora is important in English grammar. Okay, why we are learning what is cataphora? Because it is used in literature, storytelling, formal English writing, reading comprehension passages. Also, I have said in error detection. Okay, in error detection, which is the most important part of competitive examinations, where we have to exactly detect where the error is in the sentence. Cataphora and anaphora both are a part of error detection. Okay, also descriptive English. We can find cataphora and anaphora both in error detection, descriptive English, and also reading comprehension passages. It helps writers create dramatic emphasis and curiosity because the noun is in the later part of the sentence. Okay, so that is why it creates some suspense. And let me bring some quick tip. If a pronoun appears before its noun reference, that structure is called cataphora. We now know it. And if the noun appears first and the pronoun later, that is called anaphora. So this is the difference between anaphora and cataphora, the basic difference. For example of anaphora, I want to give you, Vivek entered the room, he looked tired. Now can you see he is the pronoun here, where he is placed later on in the sentence, and Vivek is the noun which is placed in the very first place. So this is called anaphora, which is reversed structure of cataphora. Okay, today we are mostly understanding what exactly is cataphora, the reverse pronoun structure of anaphora. Now let's understand with some questions. Question 1 is, when she finally spoke, the principal silenced the entire hall. Now can you see when she finally spoke? She is the pronoun here and the principal is the noun here. So this is what? This is cataphora. Yes. Next question. Although he was only 12 years old, Ajay solved the puzzle. Here also, he, the pronoun, and Ajay, the noun, is placed later on. This is also cataphora. Yes, moving on with the next question. Nihal completed the work and he submitted it. Now in this question, the noun is in the very first place, Nihal, and he, the pronoun, is in the later part of the sentence. So this is known as anaphora because here the noun has come in the very first place. Okay? Next question. Before they arrived, the guests had already called. Now before they arrived, here the pronoun is in the very first place. The guests, the noun, is later on. So this is known as cataphora. Yes? So, next question. When he stood up, the chairman commanded attention. When he stood up, the chairman is the noun here and he is the pronoun here. So here also the pronoun is in the very first place and chairman, the noun, is in the later part of the sentence. So this is also known as cataphora. So this was a very short English grammatical terminology video where we have understood exactly what is cataphora and anaphora. Okay, I have explained you with various examples and some questions with the basic difference of anaphora and cataphora, which is very much important for any competitive examinations. Okay, so everyone, let's meet in the next video with some new concepts. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day ahead.